Okay, we are live. Let me. I'm gonna send it to Twitter. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Welcome. I think we're live on.
think
Okay,
so.
the YouTubes as well. Yeah. Okay, we are. I'm gonna share this with everyone in the world. Hello, welcome to our 100th episode of the Waffle Press Movie Hangouts. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me today is my co-host, Universa.
Whoa, how's it going?
Oh, it's going fantastic. I think we will see. You never know with these things. We did one for Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I thought that went pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we wanted to keep doing more. Things didn't really work out, but now that I've got generally the hang of it, this will be occurring more and more. And I know, Gene, you really wanted to do this for a long time, but yeah, what else is going on, man? How's it going? What's new?
One drink in?
Okay. I'm gonna catch up right now. So
No,
still
just
not-
catch it.
yeah. Gene, what are we talking about today too?
We're talking about 100 episodes.
Yeah, we're doing some look back at how far we've come and what else. Let's see. Oh, we're doing giveaways.
Yeah.
Gene, what we're doing digital code giveaways. What sort
Uh-huh.
of movies are we giving codes away for today?
For your favorite, I'm going to go with this. No Way Home, Spider-Man Trilogy, Far From Home, Homecoming. Got one good one in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
This way. Give them this way. Yeah. Tenet.
I like Tenet.
Yeah. No Time to Die.
I love No Time to Die. It's a bummer about the guy who made it.
Yeah. Hopefully he falls down a ditch.
Yeah, he should. I'm still listening. I'm just sending out
Uh-huh.
the actual episode for people to find out we're live.
Underrated movie or over, I don't know. And the Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Planet of the Apes is not underrated.
Mm-hmm. It's just pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. So people that comment on this episode, you will be able to
Mhm.
see and have the opportunity to win a free movie. And if you don't comment, then we'll give them away another way. But the more people hang around, the more people that comment, the more stuff we'll give away.
Mhm.
Let me see what else we got going on. We Gene and I spent a week planning this because we have no idea what we're doing most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we're also talking about the best movies of 2022 so far, the most anticipated movies for the rest of 2022. We're also going to review our first YouTube video that's available on the channel, which I haven't seen in a long time.
I've revisited it every now and then, but
Oh really?
we might have a special guest.
Yeah, we might have a special guest. We don't know, do we? At the end of the day, it's just we're all just making it up as we go along. We're gonna talk about what else we have planned for the rest of the month specifically, because we're going to Comic-Con, aren't we, Gene?
We are going to Comic-Con. We already booked our hotel.
Yeah.
$600.
You don't have to tell them, but I will tell them since you brought it up that I assumed we would get the press pass thing, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll pay for the hotel room, whatever. And then Gene sent me a little bill the week after we get the hotel room, and he's like, oh yeah, this is for the ticket. And I was like, what? What do you mean for the ticket? I don't know. It was funny. I wasn't mad. I was just like, oh, I don't know if I would have said yes if that was the case. I like Comic-Con. I just was caught off guard. It happens.
We already RSVP'd to all the parties, so there we go.
Well, not all of them. Some of them cost money. I think they're scams.
Yeah,
But I've met cool people at Comic-Con. You've met cool people at Comic-Con.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. So if you're going to Comic-Con, come hang out with us. Hi, Daniel. How's it going? I see comments now, so I'm gonna do my best.
Which Daniel is that? Which Daniel is that?
Daniel N.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't know which Daniel that is. Daniel, which Daniel are you? We know too many Daniels.
I'm gonna please.
Just hit my elbow. Okay, Gene, what else have we been up to? What else have you been watching? This is how we start every episode. Let's keep it going.
I just been working, grinding, but yeah, movies. I really enjoyed just pulling up my letterbox right now.
Yeah. Hi,
Black
PJ.
Phone, I really enjoyed.
Oh,
I
want to see that.
I made a bad tweet that I said it was very reminiscent of Stephen King films, but then people were tweeting at me it's Joe Hill, Stephen King's prodigy.
Hello.
Yeah,
Thank
The Fruit
you,
of His
Daniel.
Loins. Fruit of Stephen King's loins, Joe Hill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I also figured out those little
Uh-huh.
the widgets, I believe they're called. So every time we get a little subscriber or something, or a super chat, which I know very little about, but I've seen other people do that. So we appreciate. I mean, the support in general is very nice, and so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I saw. I sorry to interrupt, but I saw the black phone tweet when you said reminiscent of Stephen King, and I was like,
Well,
I don't need to say anything. I know what's about to happen here. Like,
didn't get ratioed. Shut up.
I,
Not on me.
no, no. I mean, everyone gets ratioed once in a while. It just
Yeah,
happens,
it happens. It happens.
Yeah. Hi, PJ. How are you? Let me know how you are. Sorry, I missed you in Arizona when I went. Did I tell you I went to Arizona, Gene?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Okay. For a friend of the show, Noah, it was tons of fun. It was like literally 24 hours straight. Let's see. What have I watched? I watched Crimes of the Future.
Ooh.
We talked about it last time with our pal Staley.
Mhm.
You couldn't make that showing, but you'd already seen it anyways.
I did. Yeah, I loved it.
I also
Sexy
loved it.
David Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg is a dude with a lot of problems.
Sick bastard.
But you know what? I didn't think this movie was that gross.
No.
I thought it was kind of optimistic.
Uh-uh.
It's like, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's plot stuff. David Cronenberg movies are more than that, anyways. But like,
Mhm.
I thought it was a really interesting evolution of his body horror, and now it's just like body evolution. You know,
Yeah.
where it's like the world's fucked up and people are going to tell you what you can and can't do with your bodies. This was also written 20 years ago. And you have to determine for yourself who you want to be, how you can go on living in this world. And I was like, this is kind of touching.
Yeah.
And the last shot is also like very clearly like I think it reminded me anyways of like the Passion of Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
That one shot with the tilted head. I loved it. I thought it was so fucking good. I don't know if Staley and Raj liked it very much. I think
No.
yeah. I think they liked it. I want to put words in their mouth. I think they liked it, but they didn't love it.
Did you like our fave, our was it Madman Joseph Klonsky's Spiderhead?
Spiderhead. Oh no, Joseph Kaczynski.
Kaczynski, yeah.
I haven't seen Spiderhead yet. I haven't seen Top Gun either.
Okay, Top Gun's great. Top Gun is like
everyone
military
loves
propaganda. It is military propaganda. It's kind of very transparent about that, but it's very good. It's very well written. Tom Cruise is great in it, and it leaves it vague, sort of some of the, I guess the country or whatever. But yeah,
they don't say it in the original Top Gun either.
No, they never say what country that is. It's probably Russia.
Matt brought it up on a retrospective one time. We were talking shit about Top Gun because, like, God bless Tony Scott, maybe like the most inspirational action director in my opinion. For me, anyways, he's like the guy like I want to achieve his vibe. I don't care for Top Gun very much, but it's a cool looking movie. Everyone's sexy in it. That's all you needed.
Very, very attractive men in that movie.
PJ also mentioned that Cronenberg was the star of Jason X. Did you know that, Gene?
Yeah, he was the doctor.
He's the doctor in the first 5 minutes of it. Do you know why?
No.
He's friends with the director. The director was one of his makeup guys, and so he basically just, did like a favor to his buddy.
Hey, he's in Star Trek too.
He's in Star Trek, which is like, that's like kind of perfect, like.
Oh man, people really hate those new Star Trek shows though.
I haven't seen the first episode of Discovery and Picard.
Yeah, they
That's what I'll say.
Oh, when you have, I did see Picard when you have a Star Trek character saying F-bomb. Not so great. Not so great.
I don't care about that. Like, I just didn't think the shows were very good. I heard New World is like really good, like
Captain
surprisingly good.
Captain Pike, yeah.
So we're talking about hey man, B. Wallen. We're talking about RRR. Gene, did you see RRR yet?
I haven't seen it. You're gonna have to.
Okay, no. Now
you have 3 hours.
You can't talk shit about me not seeing Top Gun anymore because RRR is the greatest film.
But like, I don't have 3 hours, or I don't have 2.
Yo, yeah, fine, 3 hours.
I don't have 2 periods of 90 minutes each to watch this movie.
That's fair. PJ hasn't seen any of the new Star Trek shows. Yeah, PJ, you're maybe just jump straight into like Strange New Worlds because that's the one people seem to be responding positively towards.
I watched Star Trek Picard.
I saw the first one, and that's all I need to do.
All you need to do.
Yeah.
That is all you need to do.
Yeah. I almost forgot to ask you this, Gene. This is a relatively new note to the show, but what are your favorite minions? Like, could you rank all the minions? Do you know all their names?
I don't know all the minions.
All right. Hold up. I got you. I have my wiki tab.
Grumpy.
No. Those are the dwarves. So there's. You ready?
Yeah.
Bob.
Okay.
Carl. Dave. Jerry. John. Kevin. Mark. Phil. Tim. Stuart. Donnie. Lance. Ken. Mike. Chris. Dave. Eric. Norbert. Stuart. Tony. I think that's it. Otto.
Which is the one that's on top of Universal Studios that's looking over people like very creepily.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a diehard Minions fan personally.
Yeah. It's the highest rated animated franchise of all time.
Is it?
It is.
Like highest grossing, you mean?
Highest grossing, I think so.
Oh, hi Dave, how you guys?
People love the Minions. People could back me up.
People in the comments, do you like Minions? Let me know. Gene, what is your favorite Despicable Me movie as I look back at our notes for the episode today?
Not the one with Trey Parker.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, I didn't see it because it was really weird. And I'd probably say Despicable Me 2. The one where they casted someone as a voice and then they replaced it really late.
Some animated films do that a lot and no one talks about it.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda 2 almost had like
3.
Kung Fu Panda 3 had like Kate Hudson or someone, and they replaced her with like, what's her name from the singing movie? Pitch Perfect, yeah. Al Pacino was originally in Despicable Me 2.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, he was originally the voice of El Macho.
That's kind of upsetting.
Yeah, it is.
A little bit.
I wanted to see Al Pacino.
Well, it's fine. Yeah, no one really likes the Minions.
Dunkachino.
Happy Amblin season 3 coming up soon.
Crazy.
Matt and I are finishing up failed blockbusters retrospectives right now. So
crazy people.
All right, everybody's talking about Minions, but nobody's talking about making a minion of 10 Jewish men. What has happened to this world?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. I hope that wasn't offensive.
For life. I hope not.
Yeah, I should stop reading stuff.
You know what's good? You know what I saw it again? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness repping.
I also saw it again.
I want him to adopt me, Sam Raimi. People that don't like this movie, I think, everyone has their own opinions. Movies are subjective, but you're just wrong. You're just fucking wrong if you don't like Doctor Strange too.
I'll say this: if you don't
like this is
any Marvel movies. Fine, whatever. I'm not.
Fuck yeah.
But if you're someone who's like, oh, No Way Home, Avengers, and then this is the one that you're like, oh, no, I love this one because it has.
They're moving the camera.
Yeah.
They're using transitions. They're using fades. Like, what is this?
Yeah. Then you're you're dead to me.
Get out. We're provoking. We're provoking people right now.
And PJ, to answer your question, how are these movies still being made? It's because they make more money than God. For those that don't know, look up the box office to the Minions and Despicable Me movies, and then you're like, oh, they're gonna make these forever. That's it. They are a danger to society and our culture, and they should be unalived.
Yeah, unalived.
I think I could say that without us getting taken down.
They could be snapped. Thanos.
I already said it anyways. We're still live, so it's fine.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah. PJ said
this is not a good combination.
No, it's fine. Okay, a minion is a quorum of 10 men that is gathered to prepare. Don't worry, nothing offensive. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know anything. I just try to be polite to everyone, so I'll keep that in mind from now on. Gene, what else have you been watching recently?
Besides Spiderhead, Hustle was good. Adam Sandler.
I didn't see that.
Adam Sandler's pretty good in it.
He's a good actor. He's just lazy.
Every NBA star. Obviously Top Gun Maverick I saw, and Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe.
That I need to see.
That was good. It's just it's like Beavis and Butthead, two awful people, go back. They get frozen in the 90s in space, and then they come back and wreak havoc in the 2010s.
Is that really the premise?
That's the premise. Yep, pretty
Okay.
good.
Oh, I was gonna take a drink from my beer, but this is more important. I saw Alien and Blade Runner in 35mm at the New Beverly.
Yeah.
My favorite movies, basically, and it was great.
Okay.
I will say, it was a little tiring because it was a Thursday, and it's Friday the next day. But I'm getting old, man. That was tiring.
Can't party as much anymore. But it's okay.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, this is why I go to bed by like 8 o'clock now. Oh, hi Noah. Thank you for all you do too. That was very nice of you to say. All right, Noah has a question. My question is, how has Minions, the movie, succeeded where Morbius has failed? It's because here's like the legit reason, and Forbes writer Scott Mendelson also made an article about this, and I completely agree with him. Minions and like Top Gun, I think, remind people like what these like blockbusters and franchises can achieve when a new generation has their own thing to latch onto. No one gives a shit about Morbius. Morbius is tied to branding, and everyone knows that immediately. The joke is that people care about it. That's the joke of that movie now, right? The movie has nothing to do with that joke.
But those TikTok influencers,
Minions like legitimately has like a following, negative and positive, and kids like them. They're perfectly symmetrical little squishy gags. That's all they're there for, right? Yeah. We don't think they're funny. No. Most people don't think they're funny, but kids do. And if kids think they're funny, that's it. It's over. That's all that matters. So, yeah. Fuck Jared Leto also. Look up that tweet James Gunn had about him when he was talking to Cole Sprouse. Just for the record. All right. Should we get into giveaways? There's 9 people watching, so. Yeah, Gene, what's the first movie you want to give away? Then I'll ask a question, and people that comment will.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla versus Kong. Who wants it? That's my question. That's the first question. Now, the next ones will have more serious questions. But who wants Godzilla versus Kong? You let me know, and then the first person to respond gets it. Gene, what else do we have going on before we get into the back half of the episode? I know we wanted to watch the very first video we ever uploaded. We'll see about that. Let me have more of my beer. PJ, I did not say kids are stupid. I said kids like them, and we don't. Kids are awesome, and I never want to have them. They're too small and stinky. And Binwall, you got Godzilla versus Kong. I'll DM you the code later. Good movie.
Just send it to you.
Yeah. Good movie. That's the comment. Not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's a really entertaining movie. And I was not looking forward to it, if Gene remembers that. Because I did not like Kong. I did not like Kong Skull Island. So.
Yeah, well, it didn't have that creepy bearded guy directing, so
Yeah. Allegedly, we got to be more careful with that as we move forward in our lives and careers. But yes, allegedly. That.
Yeah.
In better news, though, Gene. In better news. I just want to talk about Alien and Blade Runner really quickly before we talk about this. And I wanted it when I said, you have the Godzilla vs. Kong code. I promise I'll send it to you momentarily.
Yes.
But yeah, Alien and Blade Runner, they were the director's cuts that I saw. And sometimes when you watch old movies, you don't, like on a 35mm film print, the quality is not great. They're really run down. I think the infamous Thief viewing we had together, I was like, oh no.
Oh, yeah.
James Caan looked like fucking Carrot Top.
Yeah. I got the Criterion.
It was just so like degraded and red, and it was like, look, I get it. It happens. It's fine. But had I known it was going to look like that, I wouldn't have gone to it, The Alien and Blade Runner prints were like fucking unbelievable. Because they're also the director's cut of Alien and the final cut of Blade Runner. So those prints had to be made around 2000, between like 2003, 2005 for those theatrical releases. So they're not that old.
Ridley would punch someone if they didn't get it right.
Yeah, they're less than 20 years old. So it looked...
Sir Ridley.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll watch like a 4K or a Blu-ray and I'll be like, oh man, this is the best this movie ever looked.
I just messaged Ridley Scott. He wants to know why you guys didn't see The Last Duel. He's like, He hates millennials. They didn't go see his movie. That's 3 hours long.
No, usually I'll be annoyed by directors being like, "Oh, it's these fucking millennials, these Zoomers."
That's
or
what he
whatever.
said.
Yeah, I know, but Ridley Scott talks shit about everyone, so I don't. It doesn't bother me as much, you know. It's not like Aaron Sorkin being like, "Well, the problem with kids
Maybe because
today."
it was 3 hours long, Ridley.
But yeah, but the last duel was
really
good.
good.
It was really good.
It was really good. It's good. Like I like that movie, but like Ridley Scott, Stop Talking Challenge 2021.
You know what? I fuck with him still though because he's like
probably a little
he's just an angry asshole.
He's an asshole. Yeah.
And I think in this day and age, he's an asshole about the right people and things.
Yeah,
so,
he is. Yeah.
Generally speaking, anyways.
Busting Sir Ridley's chops.
Yeah, so I mean, he's Ridley Scott. He doesn't fucking. He doesn't need me to jump to his defense or whatever.
James Cameron, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah, but also he like invented technology for every movie he's ever made. You know, like PJ mentioned it in the comments before. Like, I know he's not looking forward to the avatars really, and we had a friendly debate like always over DM chats, and I was like, dude, he kind of living the dream. He got to make his own weird fantasy franchise. He gets to shove every idea he's ever had into over 5 movies, not 3, not 2, 5. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah. PJ also saw The Gate in 35mm, and I've never seen The Gate, but 35mm is a really cool experience when you have a really good film print. And sound. The sound at the New Beverly is amazing. Like, this is the last thing I'll talk about Alien and Blade Runner, because I'll talk about those movies forever otherwise. But they're like, it's felt like hearing new versions of them. Like, the sound was so good.
Oh yeah, the sound. Yeah, it's
it was really nerdy and exciting, and I had a blast. Ben Wallen, best movie of the year is Speed Racer. As long as you watch it this year.
Yeah, I saw that at the New Beverly.
I know you did. Fucking, we were hanging out with other people, and then you just left early. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go catch Speed Racer in 35mm now, and I was like, what the fuck?
It was at the New Beverly. A certain star who's had some criminal charges stopped by in the New Beverly.
That is not alleged. That is true.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say it. Freaking Speed Racer's good. Emil Hirsch, not so good.
Hopefully he grew and changed, because you know that's a good movie and he was good in it. Oh, hey Jay Ledbetter from In Session Film, Extra Film, saw Lawrence of Arabia in 70mm religious experience.
It is.
I fucking bet that seems like it would change my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Indiana Jones met Lawrence of Arabia in Young Indiana Jones. Indiana. Yeah, he mentors him. He's T. Lawrence.
Oh, I didn't watch Young Indiana Jones.
I'll give a big shout out, Young Indiana Jones. Amazing show.
It was. Okay, so I started watching it again when it was on Amazon like a couple years back, and then I was like 10 episodes in, and I was like, this is like fun. And then they took it off without warning, and I was like, no.
You didn't get to finish like 3 seasons that are like 40 hours of content.
I know. Oh, speaking of things that are incredibly long, did you finish Stranger Things?
I did. Yeah, it was good. It was 9, 2 a.m. when something happens. I can't say. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, no, I think we'll do an episode with that and The Boys the next week or the following. We're going to figure that out. It will not be live, but we will do live again like
at some point.
In like a couple weeks, probably, because this is kind of fun. It's not just Gene and I riffing with each other and like hoping someone laughs eventually or whatever. Yeah, Stranger Things is really good this year. It was really fucking good. I've been a fan mostly for like the entire run, but this was the first year I was like, oh shit, like everyone should watch this.
Running up the hill. Love that part.
Yeah, like no, everyone knows now.
Yeah.
Gene, do we want to bring in our guest?
Yeah, let's bring in our guest.
Okay. We have a guest joining us today, a very special guest, pal of Gene's. Gene left the chair. He's gone. So I'm just going to bring him in. He's going to replace Gene now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Gene's here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see who it is.
Okay. Who is it? Hello.
Yo.
Got our good friend of the show, correspondent Elijah Katz. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. What's up, guys? What's up, Gene?
Oh, what's up?
Diego.
What's up, man? Good to see you.
Congrats.
Oh,
He's
I'm back. Congrats on your guys' 100th episode.
yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good
Nice.
job. Yeah, good
Yeah.
to see you, Gene. Nice to officially meet you, Diego. I don't think we've met before.
No, we haven't. But I saw your work with Gene on the episode, and I've seen some of your little stand-up clips, and they're amazing. So
Right on, brother. Thank you. I like your photography, your film photography you post on Twitter.
oh, thank you very much. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's keeping me sane, as
Yeah.
the world falls apart. But we're here to have a good time. We're here for good vibes.
Diego-
Tell us about your good vibes really quick, and then we can get into what we have planned for this.
Oh man, my good vibes.
Yeah, what do you got going on?
Well, today's laundry day. I'm drinking a hard kombucha. I was watching The Simpsons before I logged on with you guys. And yeah, that's my Sunday good vibes. I just wanted to, I checked out, I was on the stream earlier, and I just want to agree with you, Diego. The Last Duel is underrated. It was slept on.
It was really
slept on. Yeah.
Yeah, people are.
Should've-
fucking- I don't know.
Everybody went to see House of Gucci, but
Yeah. Maybe The Last Duel just should have had more memes.
yeah,
It's like a meme a minute.
No, you know what?
And Gucci, Jared
If more
Leto.
people saw it, they would have been memeing the shit out of scumbag Ben Affleck, because that is an incredible performance.
Yeah.
And he's so like disgusting and repulsive. It's awesome. Is Ben Affleck the greatest depressed king?
Mhm.
Like every time I see him now, like not to like, I'm not picking on him. Like, I'm genuinely a big fan, but he looks like he has like 8 shower beers every morning. You know what I mean? Like, he wakes up, he kind of rinses off, and he's like, all right, time for another one. Just bah, bah, bah.
Uh-huh.
And on some level, I respect that. That's all. Don't do that every day, though, everyone. That's bad for you.
But
Just days.
yeah.
Just Sundays, yeah.
I was gonna say, Elijah, do you want to say the story of how we met?
Sure. Yeah, you might need to fill in some details, but
Okay.
Gene and I met, I guess, 2 or 3 years ago at this point, doing a shitty background gig
Mhm.
in like Santa Clarita or something.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say what what gig it was though.
Yeah. Well, I'll say it in the general term. They booked us for like the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like civilians in a town.
Yes.
And one of the few positives was I got to meet Gene, and there were a couple other funny characters from that shoot. But
and you didn't get COVID because there were COVID outbreaks after we left that set, and they had to shut down.
Yeah. Oh, and that was a huge crew and a huge, probably like 40, 50 extras.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't get COVID there. Yeah.
That's good. And then just tell us a little about yourself. And also, I need to know: are your cats really called Michael, Morbius, and Venom?
No. But you're referencing that to, I posted them on Instagram and I said their names were Morbius and Venom. And I guess, I don't think I was super early on the joke, but it was early-ish. I think that was posted earlier this year.
Yeah.
But no, that's not their names. But we joke, that's like their second or third. You know, all pets have like a handful of names. And one of their many names is Venom and Dr. Morbius. But their real names can't be disclosed here because...
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, they can be disclosed. Follow them on Instagram. They're influencers now.
Okay.
They're Ayla and Adalia, which I'm just going to depend on people's spelling abilities to spell that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Follow them on Instagram. They're we're trying to make them pay our rent, and it's
landlords suck.
Yeah, they're just a money suck, and
Yeah,
they're getting old and weird now, and I just need rent's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put their links in the description on the YouTube version of this one,
Cool.
so people can check it out.
Yeah, I can't feed my family without you need to support my cats, or I'm gonna start.
Have you seen either Venom 2 or Morbius?
I saw Venom 2. I didn't see Morbius. I saw Venom 2 in theaters with my AMC A-list.
Yeah.
And I didn't see Venom 1. I haven't seen Venom 1. But it was fine. What's cool about those movies, I could see myself watching Morbius and liking it, because I go in them with such low expectations, like rock bottom expectations, that if I like crack a smile, I'm like, that was all right.
Yeah.
So Venom 2 Venom 2 was better than shit, and I thought it was gonna be shit, so it's good. Yeah. Even though they really copped out on I'm not really all about that life, the after credits life, but they really copped out on the Venom 2 after credits.
Yeah.
The payoff in Spider-Man, they were right. They just
they just fucking dropped it.
Did you see the two writers for No Way Home were like, oh yeah, the sixth member, we had this in Sinister Six. The sixth member was Venom, but he wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a fucking cop out. One time.
No, see that I kind of like that though, because it's like just this one time. I don't give a shit about post-credit scenes anymore, any of that bullshit. But like Tom Hardy, just like again, like Ben Affleck, he's just kind of a fucking depressed loser in these Venom movies, and his life just keeps getting fucking worse every day.
His wife leaves him. Yeah.
His girlfriend left him, marrying someone else, and he has to live with that. And then now he's a fugitive. Then he just like gets plucked out of one universe, thrown into another one, and then gets thrown back with even less understanding of what happened. This is the best character in the history of Marvel cinema, in my opinion.
So Venom 2 underrated.
Venom 2 underrated. Yeah, it's not like a banger, but I got a kick out of it.
Yeah, I like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, well, they just brought him back to do the Natural Born Killers again.
Natural Born Killers.
Like, yeah. I mean, him and what's the actress? Naomi Harris, right?
Naomi Harris, yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. She doesn't get a lot to do in that one either, but she's really good.
Did you guys know Tom Hardy was in Star Trek? Star Trek.
I did. Nemesis.
He plays John Locke. He plays Patrick Stewart's clone.
Yeah. Shinzon. I know that. I like that movie. I'm the one guy that likes that movie.
Yeah. But,
all right.
Guess we'll watch this.
I believe we're supposed to show you the very first video we have available on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I thought of no better person than the coolest comedian I know to.
Oh wow! Thank you. You guys are the coolest podcasters I know.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That means a lot, because as younger adults in Southern California, we all know podcasters. So
it's too many.
That's a good point, and I say that to any and all the podcasters if they're listening. Y'all can eat sand off the dirt compared to Gene and Diego. They just did 100 episodes. I do know a good amount of podcasters, because we are in Southern California, and not many of them have hit 100. A lot of them crash and burn before that, or they just move on to. A lot of people give up on a podcast, start a new podcast. That's what they do, but that's you guys can go into syndication now.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit up the Warner Brothers people. I'm sure they'll like what I have to say.
Yeah, syndication.
Hell yeah! But anyway, this video, I'm down to see it. Check it out.
Yeah, let me pull it up. This is all relatively new to me. So if you're watching on the YouTube stream, whoops! I almost destroyed our video. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, I have us right here. Gene, did you send it to Elijah?
I did. Elijah, you got it?
Oh yeah, but I'm on my phone. It's not gonna pop up in the screen on the Zoom?
Not in the Zoom. Here.
Boom. I got something crazy. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
Or wait, no, I'm supposed to react to the video, right?
It's like 4 minutes, so we can just fucking talk over it. It's fine.
Yeah. I think you're good to watch it. They just won't see your face for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right.
Cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Kamikaze 2014.
Oh, hang on.
First-
There we go. How do we put that music there, Gene?
I don't know.
I'm gonna keep drinking because this is when we would try to interview people more. And Gene, you're really excited about this idea. I'm still excited to do this. I will not do B-roll anymore. I'll just cut straight to like.
Hi, I'm David Crespo with the Waffle Press podcast. I'm here with Drax Destroyer. Drax, how you doing today?
Team Rocket.
Doing great. How do you feel to be the biggest star in the galaxy after the huge smash
Did you
hit?
see Drax the Destroyer yet?
Yeah, I think my stream is a little late, but that mesh shirt, did he buy that or
Well,
is
you were
that
my favorite
custom?
character in the movie. Do you have
It
any
might
other
be
favorite
custom,
characters besides
from
yourself?
what I remember.
Clearly the best.
Yeah. Do you still have it?
No, I am the best.
Whoops. Where'd it
Hey,
go?
we're with the Waffle Press podcast. We're going to talk about R2D2.
We're gonna have technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. It's back now. Oh yeah, R2D2. R2D2 is there. We're probably not gonna watch this whole thing because I'm incredibly embarrassed.
No, we're watching. No, we're watching the whole.
Are you that excited?
Watching the whole.
Can you tell me
Interviewing.
No, what's it? Like 30 minutes long? I could do 30.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes long. Everyone, buckle up. This is the entire back half of the podcast. Also, for the audio listeners this week, which most of you come from, sorry. That's all I
Go
got.
watch it. We'll put it.
That's all I got. You watch it at some point. Yeah, I think sometimes we do interesting stuff on YouTube.
Now you're interviewing the Flash Thompson guy.
And the Green Arrow. Remember when Arrow was super popular? Like, genuinely like, popular?
You know, the fun thing about this video, because it got cut out, is I interviewed Dana Snyder, the Bush of Shape, and he was being a dick.
Is that what you...
He kept interrupting me, remember?
I don't remember that.
It was like my first interview, and he kept like interrupting and stuff, so it never made it in. I think he lost the file.
Okay.
Oh well.
Do you remember, this is when they announced, oh, we're doing an all-female Ghostbusters. And that was when we found out the Ghostbusters fans were the worst people on the planet. Because I know it's not in this video, but I tried to ask, like, this, there was a fan group of Ghostbusters, like,
All male.
in the Star Wars universe. This was like the Ghostbusters version of that, and I'd asked them what their thoughts were on it, and the dude was just like, well, you know, women are just like, he basically, I'm paraphrasing because it's so long ago, but he was like, oh, women are like built different, you know, and they're, you know, they're gonna have to get a little downer and dirtier like the men, and I was like, oh, okay,
And
all right, and
he was
that's-
43.
Yeah, that was like a grown man. That
There are
dude, like,
genetic differences that make somebody able to Ghostbust or not, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the children can do it now in the new movie.
Yeah. Elijah, did you like Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I didn't see it. I'm against any Ghostbusters that aren't in the 80s. Women, children, even if they were men, if they rebooted it now with men. I just want to watch the old ones.
The fans are terrible, so Ghostbusting.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I keep going back
It's
to
a sacred thing, Ghostbusting, you know? And like you don't wanna mess with something that, like, you know, defines people. I don't know.
okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off that high horse.
No, stay on the high horse, because there's some fucking, I don't know, all fandom is like poison to me now. Oh, there's our buddies Nick and Lucas. I just saw Nick like 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
He's doing good.
Doing good.
Yeah, he's moving towards you, Gene.
Yeah.
Was that it? I guess that was it.
Wow, I'm 21 in this video.
Don't say
Wow.
that. Don't say
You made
that.
it through. You made it through.
Don't. Yeah, that was pretty bad though.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, you edited it on iMovie.
I know, it was iMovie.
Oh, sick.
No.
No, do Macs even come with iMovie anymore? It's a nice little time capsule.
I don't know. I should check. I still have a Mac laptop. I use PC for all this shit and like photo editing now, but I should check later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a challenge for myself. Before the 10-year anniversary of that video, I will edit something in iMovie. Yeah.
Color correct that video.
I didn't even know what color correction was. I didn't know that was like
No,
a word at that point. I was like, huh? Don't you just put the sound and the images together? Isn't that's movies, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
it's like no,
No.
it's so much more.
What convention was that?
That was LA Comic Con.
Used to be Stanley's Kamikaze. Used to be LA. Was it Kamikaze? Stanley's LA Comic Con. No, it's just LA Comic Con. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll take a better video at Comic Con this year.
Yeah. Good times. Good time. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. So if you see us at Comic Con, say hi.
What's up, Elijah? Have you ever been to a Comic Con?
I used to go to Anime Expo when I was younger. Like probably 2006 to 2010 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to one, it was like a proto LA Comic Con when I was like 12. And I don't remember what it was called, but it was in this huge warehouse and it was kind of like busted. Like it wasn't like a very good Comic Con, but I was able to flip my G.I. Joe action figures there. So
Nice.
ended up net positive for me.
There you go.
No, whenever you, I don't know how on the up and
Hey.
up this is, but
Hey,
what?
yeah, can we could give something away, which I just texted Diego. But before we do, can I ask Elijah, can you talk about a certain Part 2 movie that you're in without breaking NDAs or no?
I mean, I'm down to just
Okay.
I actually don't know how NDAs work, so I should not.
Maybe
well-
don't ask him.
Sure.
Well, like
Definitely.
they've already I think it's like already said that it's like they're making a movie of it, right?
Oh yeah, I guess if I just don't say what spoilers or anything.
Yeah.
I got to do. I think this will be one of my last background gigs, so I think I'm done with background. I'm moving on up.
They keep pulling me back in.
Yeah, really
okay.
though. They get me in my weakest moments, and then I'm just stuck for like 6 months doing it. When I don't have like a regular job. But I did the History of the World Part 2, and that'll be fun.
Yeah,
And,
Mel Brooks directed it, right?
He was not there.
Okay.
There was somebody else directing it that was very cool, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not.
Okay. Probably not.
Yeah, but bring me back in a year from now or whatever, and I'll spill the tea, even though there's not too much tea about it. But it was fun. It was all right for a shoot, and I'm excited to see it. It should be pretty. It was funny, which that's not a spoiler that it was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a comedy.
Well, considering that so many late like comedy sequels are not funny, that might actually be a spoiler.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say.
I mean,
it was like
and also it can be hard to tell from shooting too, like if something's broken up. But I think I put $5 on that this is gonna be funny.
Yeah. I was gonna say that if you saw like Coming to America, terrible.
Oh yeah, it got nominated for an Oscar, right? For costume design.
Oh, no, that makes sense. The costumes
Yeah,
look good in
no,
that.
and like that's understandable. There was like they had probably hundreds of unique costumes for that movie. But yeah, it was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. I was also going to say, did you see Mel Brooks was 96?
It's incredible. Yeah, it makes sense. He was not on set. Yeah.
What the fuck is he still alive?
David Cronenberg is 79 or something.
No, he's 80.
He's 80. Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude's fucking.
Yeah.
That dude's wilding out.
Should we raffle off No Time to Die?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, No Time to Die slaps. Bummer about the director, but yeah, it's a fucking banger of a movie. This one I'll put for the Twitter also. So if you retweet the tweet with the Hangouts link in it, I'm gonna tweet that from the Waffle Press account, my account. Gene, you can do it from yours too when you get the chance. Retweet the Hangouts link to this episode and enter for a chance to win the digital copy of No Time to Die. Before we wrap up the episode, I'll give it away. That's it. That's all you got. But yeah, No Time to Die. Elijah, you like Bond?
Yeah, I do. I especially like the classic ones. The new ones are fun too.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen the final Bond film.
Ooh,
I saw. It's funny. AMC re-released some of the past new ones, past recent ones, and I watched them in theaters. And then I just somehow the time passed me by for the new one. But I love the classic ones. And I heard they just said they're gonna have another reboot in a couple years.
Oh yeah.
yeah, Amazon, yeah.
But the Broccolis are like drawing a hard line about
Like,
no
nope.
spin-offs,
No
no
spin-off.
cinematic universe.
This is
We just
just
make
Bond.
Bond movies, and it's like, fuck yeah,
Good
respect.
for them. We just make movies about a British dude.
Yeah, James Bond, at the end of the day, he's just a guy
Just a guy.
who definitely. It's kind of amazing it took him 25 movies to give him a kid. You know, I'm just saying that dude got around.
Well, that's
okay.
growth, right?
That's growth. Oh, sorry, I just forgot you didn't see it yet. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh my god.
Pull this
It's
on
okay. Now I don't need to see it.
No,
now I'm
so
just
good.
gonna skip it. Yeah.
No, it's so good. It's so good. You'll like it, I think. There are some criticisms about it that I even agree with. I thought it was a banger. Speaking of bangers, this year's been really good for movies. And Elijah, how much longer do we have you for?
I mean, I'm chilling until my phone dies.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. Join us as we talk about our favorite movies of the year so far.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, in the thumbnail for this episode, I put little glimpses of images from RRR, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Turning Red.
Turning Red, yeah.
We're All Going to the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Crimes of the Future, and The Batman. Those are my favorite movies of the year so far. That's why I did that, and because I told Gene I just need a simple title so I can convince people to click on the link, and then we'll talk about whatever we want.
Oh, hell yeah. Can Elijah replace me as the host for 2 seconds while I turn on my air conditioner?
Yes, because it's fucking hot in California.
What are you hot, man? The heat's turning up. Yeah, it is hot.
Yeah,
it is.
Elijah, what are your favorite movies of the year so far?
Oh, man. I mean, you had some good picks, man. I just saw RRR, and I'm debating seeing it again in theaters because I definitely missed seeing it in theaters, and the Netflix is a dub. But
it's the Hindi dub.
Yeah, it was incredible though. That movie makes me just go American action movies need to catch up. There's they've been slacking in terms of creativity and cinematography. It was really good for what it was. And I'm not super familiar with modern Indian cinema. But I'd imagine a lot of the stuff that was off-putting to me or unique to me was part of their history of cinema or modern cinema. But it was great. I'll move on from that though. I'm trying to think what my favorite movies were. I've been thinking about recently what my favorite underrated movies of last year were, because I feel Last Duel is definitely one of them.
Fuck yeah.
Ridley Scott's Medieval Rashomon. That was a good one. Red Rocket, I really enjoyed that. These aren't necessarily my favorite movies. They're just ones that I feel got swept under the rug by the amount of movies that came out. Pig, I loved Pig.
Oh, Pig. Is that Nick Cage's best performance?
One of them. Yeah, one of them. I just finally watched Bringing Up the Dead or Bringing Out the Dead, the Scorsese, Nicolas Cage where he's a paramedic. And that's definitely one of the best too, of Nick Cage. But those are some underrated picks for me of last year that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, those are pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
Bringing Up the Dead.
I agree with all of your choices. I think I just watched Turning Red in the wrong mindset, and I think I was tired or something, and I kind of spaced out on that one. But I think I've just had trouble engaging with it's Pixar. Yeah. I grew up loving those movies, and I've had more and more trouble engaging with them as I've grown older. And I don't know what it is.
I'm not a Pixar hater. but I do think they've kind of like they've settled into like here's a perfect story formula. You know how it's gonna get from A to B, from B to C, and how we're gonna wrap it up in D or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it always like works, but doesn't always make for like interesting movies, you know? Like Onward, like as a story, that movie works. I don't give a shit about anything in it. You know,
like Chris Pratt, yeah.
Yeah. But I really like Turning Red, and I talked about it already. I don't want to barrage the episode with that again. But Gene, you're back. What about some of your favorite movies of the year so far?
Well, obviously Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness have to go to bat for the Raimi. Raimi's great. I think Kimmy was really good. The Steven Soderbergh movie, that's looking great. Yeah, the Batman I think is just going to be up there for a while now. I just love that Pattinson Batman. The Northman.
Oh yeah, Northman was so good.
Oh yeah, see, and there's stuff like that where I didn't even put it like on my like a list of my favorites yet, like the Northman, and it's so fucking good. Like that's why like I'm really excited about movies this year. It's like the fucking I don't know, it just feels like there's just good shit right now.
You know what, Diego? I missed your question. I was saying underrated movies from last year.
No, I thought you were just like diverting. You can just do
yeah.
You can do that.
So the movies from this year, freaking Northman was incredible. God, what? I got to go to my letterbox. My memory is so bad.
Yeah, that's what Letterbox is for, man.
Yeah. I don't.
Sonic 2.
Oh yeah, Sonic.
I still gotta watch that.
Yeah, 5 out of. No, I actually haven't seen Sonic 2.
The Bob's Burgers, the movie, that was good.
See, I gotta watch that too.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It felt like a long episode of the show.
I told you that fight broke out at my AMC, right?
I saw the video.
I was telling people about how you were there at that because they've seen the TikTok.
Oh, they saw the TikTok.
I saw the TikTok, and I was like,
I was there.
Was there.
Not intervening, none of my business. Seeing two grown men fight each other over seats.
Right,
Elijah,
Elijah, really quick, I'll just say we have one more surprise guest coming on. Like, take your time, but go ahead and let's wrap up this section.
Cool. Yeah, I'll peace out in 1 minute.
No, 30 minutes. Got it.
Yeah, 30. I need 30 minutes to say why Men was the best movie of this year.
Oh, go for it.
I don't. It was. Fun.
Yeah, it was very mid.
Yeah. It was. But I was just looking at my AMC A list, and not a lot of good movies this year. RRR was incredible. Crimes of the Future, I really, really enjoyed.
Did you see X?
X was good. X was good for what it was. It wasn't like reaching for too much, and so I enjoyed it. It was fun. I saw Black Phone last night, and I wasn't too into it. It had some nice ideas, but it was kind of weak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not great year for everyone at the movies, I guess, but it happens.
I think the second half of this year is going to really come through.
I hope so.
I'm excited for some extra stuff. Yeah.
Thor and Thunder.
Why not?
Our friend already saw it. It's a Taika movie.
A couple of our friends already saw it. No, I haven't seen the movie. I don't want to say anything. I don't want Elijah to give us his most anticipated movie, but I'll just say this really quick. Taika's made good movies before. I think he's made mostly good movies. I think there's one that didn't work for me at all, and this one doesn't look like it's much better. It happens.
Going to shame.
I'm not upset about it,
Yeah. What do you think of like Taika's like comedic performance as a comedian yourself? Because it's like, if you guys saw, I guess we're on the Taika Shade Train, but like if you saw Free Guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Yes.
I'm Taika.
Just let us know.
I would love him to hire me one day, but
he's not untalented. Like
I don't.
I'm not. He's not
Yeah.
untalented. There you go. But to get you out of that ditch. What is your most anticipated for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, that's hard. There's so many great movies coming out. But just for the summer, for like releases coming out soon, I'm really excited about Blonde.
Oh yeah.
I think just the news coverage about it has been really interesting, and it's making me go back and rewatch his other works, Dominic's other works,
Nice.
and yeah, that should be a fun one. The rest of the year, gosh, there's a lot of good stuff coming out that we don't even have trailers for yet.
I know.
We have Avatar 2.
I have
Avatar 2
2
is going to be really fun. I'm not really into 3D.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to see that movie in 3D.
What about
Yeah.
4D?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
like
all
4D.
included in AMC A-list.
Yeah, no, there's the 4DX theaters, right? The little like.
They spray water on you?
No, it's like the screen wraps around you, right, Diego? It has like 3 screens.
I'm not doing that.
Oh my
I'm
god.
not doing that. Because it's like the movie's not designed for. There's no footage. to go
No,
through.
I
It's
think
just-
like Top Gun was designed for that.
Yeah, like okay, yeah, fucking the one movie that stars Tom Cruise, and he's like, I'm gonna give these people the most movie experience they'll ever have in their life. That makes sense, you know. I don't need to fucking watch like an Agnes Varda movie like that, you know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
No, R.I.P. to the Queen.
R.I.P.
No,
Yeah.
no.
R.I.P. Agnes Varda.
Yeah.
I think I'll leave you on that note.
Okay.
I'll be tuning into the rest of the show though.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations again on episode 100. A cheers to both of you.
There you go. Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
To another 100 and many more hundreds.
To another 100. We'll be doing this till we're
42.
dead. Maybe.
All right.
All right.
Peace
Have a
and
good
love,
one, man.
y'all.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, of course.
All right, now I got one more special guest, and we're already pushing on an hour.
Should we give away more?
Well, we can do another giveaway for Tenet, but let's do our special guest, and we'll maybe like if we push it another half hour max, because you and I have plans after this. That's the only reason. Otherwise, we just get drunk on the stream and be here all evening. So, all right, here's our last guest for the day. I think. I just pressed admit. Oh. The
It's
one and
Matt.
only.
How's it
Matt
going, Matt?
Domingo.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
You were texting me and saying you were going to yell at me.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I assume you'll say something that will make me yell at you.
Okay.
That's just par for the course. I'm sorry. I literally just rolled out of bed, so
It
all right.
I look very disheveled. I have my stack of notebooks behind me.
No, I have like a very specific setup to make the audio sound a little better with like these little pads, but I left the window open, so now my setup's all fucked up with the sun. Like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so fuck it, whatever, it's fine.
And are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah,
Let's do
I got people launching fireworks outside, so
Welcome.
you might hear gunfire noises, and if I'm under attack, I won't realize it for a good 20 minutes.
Red Dawn?
Yeah,
Two?
exactly.
Matt,
Yeah.
what do you think of Tenet?
Oh, I like that movie, even though I don't know what's going on in that last part. I've watched it like 3 times now, and I'm like, as soon as they get to that last battle, the temporal pinch movement, I'm like, I don't know what's happening, and I don't know who's doing what. I like the building blowing up backwards. I'm like, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's at stake. I don't know. Kenneth Branagh's having a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah.
it's a movie. It's a movie just made for Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan alone.
Yeah. You think Nolan is like
Mm-hmm.
is he like a good storyteller, but like you gotta get with his rhythm, or does he need someone to come in and just like hit him and just be like, just have someone say what the fuck is going on for once?
I think you need someone to hit him.
I think both.
I love Nolan, but you need someone to hit him.
I think it's a little bit of both, because like I think Dunkirk is like a terrifically structured film, you know.
Yeah. My now deceased grandfather went to see Dunkirk, and came out of that movie, and he was like, Matt, I don't know what to tell you, but I think the editor screwed that movie up or something.
It's like
he
it
dropped the
doesn't.
film reel and it just fell out of place. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was all like fragmented.
Another great comment from my grandfather after a movie was we saw John Wick 2 and he enjoyed it, and we get out of the movie and he was like, Matt, I really enjoyed it, but there was something about it I don't understand. And I was like, oh, what was that? He's like, what was with the sign language? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, was like it symbolic of something? Or and I'm like, I don't think so. I think she just, she's deaf maybe. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. He just watched the whole movie, didn't put that together. But hey.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Matt,
so,
what's your favorite movie of 2022 so far?
Oh my God. I don't know, because I've seen movies and I've been like, yay, I'm back at the movies. I saw Mad God
nice.
like 2 days ago, and I thought I very much miscalculated and thought, oh, stop motion. Like, my dad likes old monster movies.
Oh
like,
no.
I'll put it on for the film. He's still very deeply upset with me over.
Oh man.
And he was like, whatever that guy was trying to get out of his system, I hope it worked.
Who's that like is it like who's that stop motion guy? He's like a stop motion giant that did it. Who is it?
Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah.
I think I honestly thought it was gonna be more. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't know anything going into it. I just said like, it was stop motion, whatever, fuck it, let's watch it. And yeah, miscalculation. I really like that though. I think I would pick that as my favorite just because it's so upsetting. And I'm like, yeah, I vibe with that right now.
Sure, exclusive.
Yeah. And now, I don't know. It feels like I really like The Northman. But I feel like everyone's like, that's a basic take. I feel like what's his name is about to go like the Christopher Nolan route, because it feels like he's starting to get worshipped by like film bros.
Robert Eggers?
Yeah, like that's the vibe I'm starting to get. And it's that thing of like, people are like, you know why this movie's good? And you're like, oh, why? And they go, because it was like really historically accurate.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh god,
not really, but it's that thing of like people who think that a movie that is like realistic means it's a good, like that was the thing people used to say about Nolan. It's like the reason why The Dark Knight is good is because it's a realistic take on Batman. It's like, not really.
There's like ninjas and like
there's like spooky gas.
Yeah, gas that just makes things
I
scary.
think the Batman is the most realistic take. Like he tries to glide.
Even that though, like it's like it's got more in common with like Blade Runner, which I guess is more like grounded, but not like real.
I think it's one of those like realism is like a take people fall back on when there goes some fireworks. When they don't know like why they like the movie. Like I think people walk out of movies sometimes they go like, oh, why did I like that? Oh, because it was realistic, and I like realistic things because I'm a really real guy, deep down, man. Like I'm down to earth. I'm not into like this pussy fantasy shit, man. It's I think it's one of those people fall back on it.
And then I'm just over here like, you should all watch The Dark Crystal.
Yeah, yeah. It's so I liked Elvis. I couldn't say it's my favorite though. Like it was just very. Very wild little movie.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
I like Baz Luhrmann, so I'm probably gonna like it.
It's one of these things where like I feel like Baz Luhrmann is the only one who could have. Did he write it? I didn't actually pay attention to who wrote the thing.
Did he?
Let me check.
I will say that was very Baz Luhrmann. It was a very
If I think he has like a writing credit. It's one of those movies that had like 6 writers or something like that, if I remember correctly.
It's also one of those movies that you Google just the name Elvis, and it's like, oh yeah, that's not.
Oh yeah,
that's not just that. So I have to type in Elvis movie.
He's a man.
Yeah, I was like,
I wonder how much of his idea was the Colonel Tom Parker like framing device, because it feels like
your movie.
Well, it feels like maybe I don't know what Elvis's estate is like these days, but remember when like Bohemian Rhapsody came out and there was all the talk about like the surviving members of Queen like really like influenced how that movie came out, like sanded off the edges.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it felt like that's what like Elvis was kind of trapped in, like what the estate wanted, maybe. And I think, but if you look at it through the lens of this is Colonel Tom Parker on his deathbed telling a story, like it suddenly justifies every weird, like, oh, we're just gonna brush over the racial politics of Elvis's music. Okay. Oh, he married a literal teenager. Okay. Like we just
by the way, for screenplay credit, it's Baz Luhrmann, Sam Brommel, Craig Pierce, and Jeremy Donner.
okay.
I don't know who half those people are.
I just wonder how much if it almost felt like a parody of movies like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
That excites me.
And also, like, you can't not, if you've seen Walk Hard, like you just can't not see it with any.
Yeah.
He literally has the same like kind of drug arc that
I was gonna say, yeah, they didn't show Elvis how he died on the toilet.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that was the thing I was thinking watching them, like, how are they gonna end this? Because like the Elvis story does like kind of end with like, yeah, he died on the fucking toilet. But I thought they handled it fairly well.
Yeah. What was the thing you said where it's like Emperor Palpatine scene?
Oh no, I was saying like I wanted to do an Emperor Palpatine miniseries, but it would start with Palpatine going, "There are some who make me out to be the villain of this here story." So you retell Darth Vader's story, but from Palpatine's perspective, and he's like, "You understand? I discovered this boy.
I created his midichlorians."
Yeah, exactly.
Shaved light.
I almost want to start a Twitter account that just takes Tom Hanks saying that line and just put it under different villains from different movies. Just like guys who are like 100% evil and not justified, and then it's like, make me out to be the villain of this here story.
That could be something.
And Tom Hanks, man, was fucking going for it.
It's good,
Colonel Tom Parker. I don't know what the fuck that accent was, but he was all over.
Like Dutch or something. I don't fucking know.
It was just wild, and he was. You could tell he was having fun. It was nice to see. So,
he was bouncing back from COVID.
Yeah, and the theater I was with seemed to like get really emotional at like the climax and stuff, which like I wasn't expecting. So, yeah.
Okay. Some comments I want to get to because people are actually engaging with us for this. That's very nice. Thank you, everyone. Madison Cherry. This is going back to the most anticipated movies. Asked about Nope. I'm watching Nope opening night.
Oh yeah, Nope.
Yeah.
Nope is probably my most anticipated movie at this point.
It looks so fucking good. Like,
looks good.
Yeah.
It'll be the movie people turned on Jordan Peele though.
That's the arc.
I'm telling you.
Eventually they'll come back around to him.
They didn't turn on him for us, I felt.
Some people did, and they were like, again, to go back to the realism thing, they're like, but it doesn't make any sense. And it's like, yeah, it does. It's not real.
It's not real.
Like,
yeah.
Thematically, it's like such a sound like fucking movie. I don't know what people fucking want.
I hope Nope is about gnomes.
No.
It'd be an interesting twist. I'm gonna say I think he's gonna have an M. Night arc where like people are like, this guy's the new genius, and then they're immediately gonna turn on him.
Yeah.
And
also, he won an Oscar for his first movie. That's always like people are like,
not a great.
Get him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the fact that like he's like, no, I want to keep making horror movies. Like, I think people are gonna be like, what the fuck? But
well, you and I brought it up in a conversation you and I had on one of the retrospectives, but there's an old video of him from like 2 or 3 years ago now. He was saying like, he wants to do this, but he also wants to do other stuff, and like he was building up to it, but he ends like his speech basically saying like, and someday hopefully get to make our own Star Wars.
Yeah, there
like,
you go.
And it's
I would love.
It's fucking great.
I would love from that career. The problem is, it feels like he's like, to me, he feels like he's kind of the heir to like the Wes Craven, John Carpenter type of horror movie making.
I also think like Rod Serling too. Remember
a little bit,
Twilight Zone revival.
Yeah, I wish that Twilight Zone revival had worked, but it just didn't. Yeah. But that's a hard. They just can't get it right. But I don't know. I just worry that it's going to be that same thing where like he's going to make that movie that's actually his masterpiece, and that's going to be the movie that everyone turns on him for. Like,
I'm not saying it's related to this movie. This isn't about quality. I've just heard that there's a movie right now that's coming out that we're all excited for that is struggling with some special effects stuff. And I'm willing to bet people are going to see that one particular flaw, which is, valid and happens with plenty of movies nowadays just because the way the industry is like structured and that pipeline's overwhelmed constantly. And they're going to be like, see, we told you, it's fucking... it's not as good as you thought it'd be, and I'm not looking forward to that. But
Yeah.
maybe I'll just get off Twitter. That
Yeah,
weekend.
but remember when The Irishman came out and they all looked like PS3 cutscenes in it, and like no one cared. Like
some people did, and some people still like.
Yeah, but we did. No one listened. No one listened to those people.
That's true.
Like,
the people want to know if you saw RRR.
You know what? I have not seen it yet. I've been
both of you fucking people.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what I did. Like, I saw someone, but like, hey, here's a thread of other movies like RR that like you can kind of be like a primer before you go in. And I was like, all right, yeah, and I like bookmarked it, and then I went to look for it, and it got deleted. So
I think that was my boy Siddhant Adlaka. He's a very talented critic and writer. Everyone go check him out. But yeah, he had a great list, but he deleted it because people started dogpiling, and they were like, "Oh, you think you're an authority on the entire culture of this country?" And he's like,
people being very calm and cool, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That's going to be the arc with RR. Is like a bunch, like it's gonna, because it's going mainstream. Like people that aren't like in film Twitter are like getting into it. And then people are going to be like, yeah, but you think this represents a whole culture, and that'll be the backlash to it.
Yeah,
and because we can't enjoy things anymore. But
yeah, the boys over at Action for Everyone also brought up a good point too. It's like, because it's like a foreign film and it is fucking awesome, there is like also sometimes like an air of exoticism that happens with that, and like that is something absolutely
it seeps
to,
into
like,
the
watch
language. Well, remember when Parasite came out? Like someone wrote some like really bad article that was like, what is South Korea's obsession with like violence and stuff like that in their movies? And it was like, no, that's the movies that just most of us watch. Like it is not indicative of the movies that get made over there.
There's like plenty of fucking comedies from over there.
I know comedy just translates very poorly. Like it's just, like, try watching some, and just...
one of the things I remember from like the at the movies days when it was Roper reviewing Hot Fuzz. I don't think Ebert was there for this one. I think he was already sick. And they were talking about like how good and like funny it was, but they didn't like get the goose scene because they understood that it didn't translate, because the goose stuff is maybe more common to like British dry humor versus like what Americans like. They responded to like the Michael Bay jokes and stuff like that with the camera moves and everything. And I was like, okay, like you don't have to like it, but like at least understand that it's not wrong. It's just different.
Yeah,
it's like it's a whole complicated thing. We are not equipped to dissect all that right now, but what we are here to dissect is John Goodman's question about whether or not we checked out Dashcam yet.
Yeah,
John Goodman,
actual John
Goodman. Yes, no, John Goodman on Twitter with a GUD instead of good man.
Okay,
although he is a good man.
Hey, Twitter, so. I don't know what Dashcam is.
I haven't seen it either.
It's a found footage horror movie that, you guessed it, takes place within a Dashcam.
Oh, it's produced by Jason Blum.
Yeah. He produces like half the horror stuff that comes out in America. So
seems like an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Hey, he produces some bangers, and your favorite movie from last year, Matt. Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah, Evil Dies Tonight, man.
That one was good.
If only we had listened. If only we had listened and made Evil die that night, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Well, now he's made monsters of all of us.
Yeah. You guys see? Was it Halloween Ends? Didn't he say like something where it's like, it's going to be about COVID or something?
Yeah,
I think that was the director.
He made some comment that was like horrifying. Like it was like, and then like. It was like, we're gonna have to address all these things that happened in between like COVID and the Capitol riots, and it's like, the fuck you talking about? Like
in a Halloween movie, yeah.
I mean, I want to see it, but it's also like, no, it's gonna be weird. I like these Halloween movies are gonna be like these perfect artifacts of this weird era we're in right now. Where like, no, horror movies are fucking important. They're about fucking important things. And it's just gonna be like that's what all these slasher movies like. They're really reflective of the times they're in, and so I'm looking forward to like looking back on it 10 years from now. But right now, it's just like, the fuck happened. Hey,
Gene, really quick, you also had a giveaway for Tenet.
Yeah.
I don't have a plan for how to give this one away. Maybe people comment, what's your favorite Christopher Nolan movie, and I'll pick one, and we'll give you the Tenet one. We're just making this up as we go along.
Democracy at work.
Yeah, you know, democracy does work in this country, as you know.
Yeah, but not on this podcast.
Not on this podcast. Well, you know, we're kind of the Supreme Court, and if you don't listen to the Supreme Court, are you saying we don't matter anymore? Clearly, the people want the Supreme Court to matter more than their rights.
Law and order. Law and order.
Yeah. This is going to inspire people to vote.
Yes.
I'll stop commenting on real life situations and we can just talk about Tenet again or something. Gene, did you and I say what our most anticipated movie of the year is?
No, I don't think I did. I was gonna say my most anticipated movie. Well, it's not Thor anymore for good reason.
Was that like at one point like you were super fucking hyped for it?
What movie? I didn't hear what you said.
It was Thor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it getting bad reviews? I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, well, look, I'm not gonna dunk on that. I was really looking forward to it too. I like Ragnarok still. I'm not like I'm a Taika fan. I just.
But now that when the Marvel movies get bad reviews, I get like interested. So I'm like, maybe it tried something, and it might not have worked, but they tried.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a safe answer. Creed 3. Nothing people could say about Creed 3.
Is that coming out this year?
It's coming out this year.
I didn't know that. Okay.
No Stallone. Just Creed.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of could have died after that.
But is he fighting another person's son? Is it like?
No.
Okay.
As far as I know, no.
I had heard at some point he was going to fight Clubber Lang's son.
No. Well, I think in Creed 2 they were going to have Clubber Lang's child. Who would have had like Clubber Lang's daughter. And she would have ran the desert facility that he goes to train in to whatever, fight the Dragos.
That wouldn't have been like the worst thing ever. Like if you had to have that, you know.
I liked Creed too. Like I'm not. It's where Creed is like is way better than it has any right to be, and is like genuinely great. So like I kind of had to just treat Creed 2 as like, okay, it's a standard Rocky sequel.
Yeah, that's really the biggest like slight I have against it. It's like, okay, it's like good. It's a good movie. I can recommend it, but like Creed is so fucking good. It's like unbelievably good.
It really is. I'm so mad that we didn't see Rocky and Ivan Drago fight in that deleted scene.
Yeah, well, not even fight. Just like I wanted more of them.
They were gonna fight in Creed 2.
Yeah, there's some deleted scene. I guess it got leaked online or there's.
I'm glad they cut it. Honestly.
It sounds so bad. It's like two old men,
like
70 and 80. Just
Rocky's still on the mend from cancer and just like gets in a fight with a Russian whose body's been destroyed by all the fucking roids they shoved into him.
Wouldn't that be great?
No, would have been horrible. But I don't know. I like Creed 2. I'm interested to see Michael B. Jordan direct.
Oh yeah, he's directing that one, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
A lot of like, this is really interesting about the industry, and I don't think any of us have an answer to it. Gene might know more about it than I do, but like, a lot of writers and actors are shifting to also directing as the primary focus, and not the thing where like they've been wanting to do it all the time. I'm just noticing it more and more.
You know why it's happening?
So they can control their image.
I mean, that's a cynical way to look at it, and that's probably partially true. But
that sounds really mean. I'm sorry, that wasn't like where I was coming at it.
I think it's that classic. Like right now, it's like, okay, I just did a big franchise film. Now I want to use this, and it's like, well, you can do these 3 other franchise movies, and it's like, no, I don't want to do like. It's something where it's it's they want to have a real movie they can be in, and it's like, well, if they're not going to make it, I'm going to make it. So I think that's just the way. Like whenever they sign up for these franchise movies, I bet you Theo's going to be like, okay, I'll do this, but then you got to give me a little money to fund my fucking passion project that I'm going to actually make myself. I think it's just that thing of they don't have actors and directors. I mean, everyone basically, like, there isn't the one for them, one for me thing anymore. It's like one for them, and then I can go to television and go to streaming, but it's not the same as making an actual movie. And I think I'm sensing there's a general. I think that's why writers are not directing more of their things, because you can't really sell your script in the way you used to. I think it's just like a weird, like, they're doing it out of necessity more out of a passion.
Yeah, there's I haven't made much headway in that department, but I'm sure Gene knows of this too. The thing you hear the most when you're trying to get like representation or like get your foot in the door is that the common question is always like, why is this important to you? And they start like chiseling away at you so you can kind of like, okay, why is this story important? Why is it like, let's delve into your trauma. We can sell it if we get into your trauma.
That's a weird, yeah.
And it's right. It's fucked up. It's weird.
And so, yeah, I've definitely noticed that where it's like every movie that comes out, it's got to be about like this comes from deep within my fucking soul.
Like,
you know,
what life-altering circumstance are you drudging up so you can sell this?
It's a weird like trauma porn thing, but also like they want to be like, but no, it's not your vision. Like you got to make a movie for audiences. Like especially with franchise movies, it's like there's a real strong pushback against like the director as author, but also the director has to have some sort of personal story. They're like that it's actually this is about some deep-seated thing within me, and it's
gross.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder what the shift against it will be, though. That's what you know, whenever there's a trend, you have to imagine like what is the thing that takes it out, and so. But I wonder if we will get to like weird nihilistic movies that are just like fuck everything and everyone, like back to like the early 90s and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want The Last Boy Scout 2.
I'm not sure if I want that. I'm just saying I want
no, not a literal sequel, but a movie that captures the same vibe.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what I want. Maybe treat the women a little better in the movie.
Yeah.
Because holy shit. Like anyways, yeah. I think we're winding down a little bit here.
Well, Diego, you did not say what you were looking forward to.
It's Avatar 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really excited for the big screen experience for that.
There you go. What is everyone not looking forward to?
Thor.
Like I was dreading Jurassic World Dominion coming.
Yeah, it was. Someone asked me on Instagram when I was like a movie I was dreading, and I was like, "Well, the Jurassic World's already out, so I'm good." Like, like there's probably gonna be some shit I watch that I'm just like disgusted by, just because it happens. But I'm not like dreading anything right now.
Nat, did you see Jurassic World Dominion?
Fuck no! What the fuck? Are you fucking insane? Like, who would pay to see that, knowing what it is?
that Colin Trevorrow, that crazy person.
Hey, I think I told one of you at least, but I'll say on the podcast too, and maybe one of the friends is watching right now because there's only a couple people left in here. But like when I was asking friends what we were going to watch recently, and some of them wanted to watch Jurassic World, and I was like, I'm excited for you guys to hopefully have a good time with that one. I'm good. And they were kind of just like, you don't like dinosaurs? I was like, I love dinosaurs, but you know, I've been around that rodeo enough times. I know where that path leads. And then so they watched it. We caught up. We're having some drinks, and I was like, "Well, what'd you guys think?" And they were like, "Nah, it was bad." And I think the tide's turned.
I haven't heard a single person say anything positive about the movie that didn't feel like a bot or was Dan Doherty. Like,
Dan. What? Dan, what
I don't know what.
There?
Like, was Dan high? Was he Dan? Did you have a really rough day and then like you ended it with Jurassic World? It's like, well, it wasn't all bad. Like,
you know, there's dinosaurs in it for like 5 minutes, and that's cool.
Locusts.
Oh yeah, Gene, what's your review of Jurassic World Dominion?
Awful. Terrible fucking movie. I think we got the answer of like if Colin Trevorrow got to do episode 9.
Yeah,
would it have been good.
Yeah. That was my thing. It was like, I think his story has like meat on its bones. I think there's a lot of interesting like potential in it. That's not ready to go yet. That script is not ready to go yet. That happens. It's fine. Everyone's written a first draft before. You know what that's like. But he's just not like a good director. So,
do we know exactly what led to him leaving?
I don't know. I'm sure it's even like on the old retrospectives. We'd all like heard stuff and like different variations of whatever, and like none of it tracks anymore. So I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, like, Black Panther 2 comes out this year apparently.
My heart goes out to Ryan Coogler.
I'm not.
Negativity I have about that project is not directed at him. We were just gushing over Creed. I think he's gonna be, if he wants to, I think he has the potential to be like one of the next great filmmakers.
Well, it was sad. I assumed he would make a movie in between the Black Panthers that would be like, okay, a personal thing from him. And it sounded like he was circling a few things, and then none of them happened. And like they got passed off to other people. So that's a little depressing.
Well, I know he also took time off because he's a dad now.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, he had a Space Jam too.
Yeah.
He got that producer check. He's fine.
Oh, hey, Hocus Pocus 2, finally. The sequel to Hocus Pocus.
Well, we'll see how that is. If it works for a new generation of kids the way the first one did, whatever. That's fine. Doesn't mean I'm looking forward to it, but I got a soft spot for that Hocus Pocus. I know a lot of boomers don't, for whatever reason. They get really angry about that one. But
well, I think it became such a cult thing that like there's equally like a backlash to it. I don't know. Hocus Pocus is fun because it's one of the few Disney Halloween movies where there's actual like the threat is children will die. And two children die in the opening of that fucking movie, and not enough of those Disney Halloween movies had those kind of stakes.
Not Halloween Town or
no.
What's that one where like there's like some guy and he gets turned into a cat or something?
Oh God! Well, there's a talking cat in Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I'm thinking of Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, he was.
I was so stupid. I was like, Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, and you get in Hocus Pocus, you see that cat like get run over by a car and like is flat and like dead, and then comes back to life. And this is in a Disney children's film.
Mm-hmm.
But then it actually dies at the end. But that's because the spirit inside the cat gets to move on to the afterlife now that the curse of the witches is gone.
Yeah.
That's kind of sweet, in a way.
I don't know if it's sweet.
Well, I mean, like, okay, for a horror story.
It's just wild that it's like, hey kids, here's a dead cat in the fucking children's movie with a bunch of goofy witches running around. Bette Midler, you don't know who she is. You're 7, but
well, sorry, the witches. It's like what's her name from Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yeah. And the other one.
Yeah. All right. As we wrap up, last question, Garingo. Now that you're here, if you have one dream interview, someone you could interview, has to be alive.
Not Orson Welles.
Orson Welles. So
Orson Welles.
You could interview one person on any podcast. It could be on this podcast, any podcast. Who would it be and why?
Are we sure Nixon's dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
I want to interview whoever was on the grassy knoll who took the shot from that angle.
Wow.
No, what the fuck? Why would I want to interview someone? I don't know. I have no interview chops.
No one does. Everyone lies about it. No one.
Makes
it up.
It's like I sit down with Spielberg and I'm like, so what was it like making The Fabelmans? And it was like, well, I wanted to bring it back to my childhood. And it was like, do you realize that while you were a child, Iran was going through a cultural revolution with the CIA? And like, I would just start going off on some sort of incoherent ramble, which is not something I think anyone would want in an interview.
Yeah.
With Steven Spielberg.
What if you interviewed Orson Welles?
Oh my God, but he would like be belligerent and he would hate me.
How do you know?
He'd be like, Matt, did you know Ilya Kazan was a traitor who sold out all his countrymen?
What's it? I love the John. He's talking about John Lance. He's like, on the day of his trial, on the day of his indictment.
You got fucking hear him in that quote.
That he was trying to like talk down to Orson about like something.
He was trying to tell. He was giving Orson advice, maybe, which like was a thing people felt they could do. I think there's also a story about John Landis trying to give advice to like Hitchcock in like the last years.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, Max Landis had some good. No. John Landis had some good movies in his time. I wouldn't put any of them up against something even like To Catch a Thief. But I also think I like To Catch a Thief more than like most people, so never mind. Maybe that's a bad comparison.
I think people really like To Catch a Thief.
I like
it, yeah.
Now the goal, if you're a film nerd, is not to say Psycho or Vertigo are your favorite Hitchcock movies.
I didn't want to put them up against the best ones, but like, look, sometimes the basic choice is still the right one. You know, like I'm sorry, Psycho's the fucking shit. Like, like you can't do anything about that. You know, like I'm sorry. Rope is another good one. I think that one's getting more popular. So I think
Rope,
that's, like,
Rope is an agreed masterpiece, unless you're Abby Phelps, I think.
Abby.
I think she didn't like. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
Okay.
So either I'm slandering Abby or I'm calling her out. So...
Yeah, I know. Wait, I need to be more careful about that because we had the Michael Mann discussion on one of the episodes we did. Where I was like, oh, people were picking fights with Michael Mann. And someone was saying, I was saying something about some tweet I saw, and you were like, oh, that was Abby. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't mean to pick a fight with her. And now it's happening again, and I promise it's not intentional.
Yeah.
Sebastian Moreno says, I like The Birds as my favorite Hitchcock. That's my first Hitchcock, so it's going to have a special place in my heart forever. It's also a banger. So, you know, who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Gene, if you could interview anybody, who would you want to interview?
Who would that's still alive?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Daniel Barry, officially Rams 2022 champs, who just subscribed. That is quite the social media name. Thank you.
Yeah.
What got you to subscribe in this moment?
I know. It's like Alfred Hitchcock talk, I guess.
What could we have possibly
Alfred
said?
Hitchcock.
I think I would like to interview George Lucas just for the hell of it. See what crazy answers I'll get from that guy.
George Lucas is awesome. That's just the way it is. Sebastian also. Okay, Sebastian, the guy just subscribed and said Insomnia is my favorite Nolan film. That's quite the hot take. I've also heard that once before from not Sebastian. I won't say the name of the person in case they don't want me to, but
yeah,
I've heard that before.
Well, Insomnia is like the kind of lost Nolan film for like more modern Nolan fans. Like, so when you discover it and you're like, oh shit, this is really good, and I wish more people knew about it. Like. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie, and like my one, like, it's not even criticism, it's just like a nerd thing where I'm like, if Hoyt van Hoytema met Nolan like 10 years before and he shot Insomnia, I think it would be like one of the greatest remakes. Like, it's up there already, but I think it would be like a top 5 remakes thing.
Robin Williams is great in that.
Oh, this is so good.
Yeah, he's so good in that.
Imagine if he was like Hugo Strange or something in one of the Batman movies.
He wanted to be.
Well, didn't he wanted to be Joker, right?
He wanted something. He said, like, I remember the quote because I was like, oh, just fucking put him in the movie. He was saying, like, oh, I want to do anything in the next Batman movie. Make me an inmate at Arkham for all I care. Like, I just want to be in it. And
okay, cool.
Christopher Nolan again.
Because isn't the story that they were trying to get Nicholson to lower his price for Batman, the Tim Burton one, and so they were pretending they were interested in Robin Williams for the Joker, and they kind of let him along, and like they had no plans on hiring Robin Williams, and they just got Nicholson to lower his price, which I don't even think Nicholson blinked, because Nicholson got like an insanely good deal out of the first Batman movie. But yeah, so
that's sad.
Yeah, he could have been a great Riddler. Like,
he could have been a lot. Robin Williams was much more talented than what most of his filmography had to offer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a dude I wish was still around. I could still see him talking shit. Sebastian also said if he was still alive, I wish I could interview Wes Craven. Wes Craven would have been a great choice. Also, thanks for stopping by again, Jay. 100th episode is a great opportunity to perform the first temporal pinching on our podcast.
No.
Yeah, so for the SoundCloud version, I will obviously reverse the audio for the back half of this, and so it'll be a full 3 hours long, but the back half is going to be completely in reverse.
They gotta layer them on top of each other. That's how it's a pencil movement. So it's
I don't know if you saw Gina and I watching the very first video we have available on YouTube, which is like not a great video, but like when we were playing it, I was like, this is too fucking loud. You can't hear us talk anymore. So I had to like slowly lower the audio bar as we're watching it. But yeah.
Diego, did you get your hot sauce?
I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago.
That's right.
All right. If I had to interview anybody, I actually really want to interview Peter Weller. I think he's like a really interesting guy. Like, I just like Google like Peter Weller interviews sometimes just to hear what he has to say, because he'll be talking about like Ingmar Bergman from one end, and we're talking about like the socialist revolution one end. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you know what?
Does RoboCop know all this?
You know what you got to open with, though.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it that you saw in your role in Star Trek Into Darkness? Why did you say yes to that guy?
Money.
Is it? It's like, are you gonna stop me, Kirk? What's he fucking saying that?
Dead or alive, you're coming with me, Kirk. I would have cheered if I heard that.
Did you guys like him as Batman in The Dark Knight Returns?
I mean, that animated movie's not great, but
Yeah.
it's a fine choice.
It's
He's
fire.
an interesting choice. It wouldn't be mine, but I think like it was interesting.
God damn, you go on HBO Max and there's like 50 Batman movies now, and like they're like 90% of them are these animated movies that look like, who's watching them?
DC nerds.
But like, why? Like, I can't imagine.
This is gonna be the last thing, and then we'll wrap up. And thanks again for stopping by, Matt. But like, I think it's sort of how the direct-to-video action movie market was like kind of off the chain for like 10 to 15 years there.
Yeah.
And then now it's kind of like died down. That hasn't died down with DC movies for whatever reason.
It'd be one thing if they were original stories, but they're all like adaptations of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And even you just watch a preview and you're like, well, I know the comic's better than this.
Or sometimes the comic is better.
It's
like my hot take with the Killing Joke one, apart from that movie looking like fucking awful and the writing, we're not doing that. But like the animation, it's all like awful. It's like flash animation. It's like whatever. Like if you're just starting animation stuff and that was like your first thing you ever showed me, I'd be like, wow, you're really talented. But to like adapt the Killing Joke that way, it's like that's like groundbreaking artwork.
Yeah.
And you do that, like that's just like not acceptable. But I don't know. This was our 100th episode. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Matt, for stopping by, because that's kind of a last minute availability thing for you.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I rolled out of bed and I was like, oh shit. I thought you were going to text me because you said you had to figure out how to get guests on, I think is what you said to me.
So just full disclosure, I think I even said it earlier, but I was like, I don't know this shit, but I know how to use Zoom. If I can link the Zoom onto the Streamlabs, I'll figure it out.
So I said, text me if you figure it out. And then I will know if I can make it. And then I never got a text message. And then I decided, I'll take a nap. And I took a nap. And then I woke up and I was like, I should check in to see if Diego will have me on. And he did.
Yeah.
And I saved the 100th episode, I think is what I'm saying. It was going in the fucking toilet. It was just crash. Like I saved this podcast with my two hands with these retrospectives. I want everyone out there to know these guys were nothing until I came along. And I was like, we should do a retrospective on some shit. Because it was my idea. I don't know if it was Diego's. I can't remember, but I'm just going to claim it was my idea. And it saved the Waffle Press.
The retrospective, at least one of the episodes, was your idea. And then we just kind of kept doing it.
You had me on for some insane reason. You're like, this guy must know what he's talking about. And I don't.
I quickly found out that was not true.
Yes.
But none of us do. So
I get to yell at you. So it all works out.
You win some, you lose some. And then, without all of that, obviously Gene wouldn't have his successful editing career. And who knows, whatever else.
Like, what's that meme with the domino?
Yeah, small domino.
Matt Gringo guest stars on the Waffle Press. Whatever Oscars and award-winning films you guys are a part of in the future.
Matt, can you do any last-minute rants?
Oh God. Man, I've been rereading this book about like the history of Marvel. And, God damn, Stan Lee. Like Stan Lee just needed to shut the fuck up sometimes. I mean, it's just there's this part in the book where fucking it's like Jack Kirby's like still alive and it's like the 80s and Jack Kirby's been attacking Marvel in the press for like screwing him out of all sorts of money, and it's his birthday and he's on some radio show and Stan Lee calls in. And at this point, like Jack Kirby's clearly not happy with Stan Lee and is like said so in the press. But like Jack Kirby's clearly kind of moved. Like even after all this, Stan's calling me and they have like a good conversation. It's like, I'm glad you called. And it's like they go on for like 10 minutes and then it goes like, I wrote all the dialogue in Fantastic Four, but it would have been nothing without Jack's drawings. And Kirby's like, well, that's not how I remember it. And you were having, it was good. You were having a good time. And Stan Lee's like, oh, hey, weird passive aggressive guy. Like,
Yeah,
he's
well, yeah,
so-
it's like he dipped because it's like he kind of broke the Stan Lee character for maybe 10 minutes, and then the character of like Stan, the creator, like just hopped.
Yeah, Stan the Man Lee.
Yeah.
Face front true believers. Like,
Yeah. Did you ever see the Steve Ditko thing where he's like, well, if he wants to consider himself the co-creator, he can, but he doesn't consider him the co-creator of Spider-Man.
yeah, but every quote from Ditko is insane. Like,
Yeah.
Ditko is just like a wild guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to know anything about his politics or who he voted for, but he has some good going.
I think smartly he kept himself out of the public eye as much as possible. Whereas Stan Lee, there are so many quotes out there from him that are like, at times like, wow, that's kind of progressive, Stan. And then other times it's like, oh, Stan, you should have just shut the fuck up. Like, so yeah, there's my end rant. Stan Lee really should have shut the fuck up sometimes.
Well, at least he's dead.
Whoa, I did not say that.
I didn't. He's a complicated.
He didn't say
figure.
that. He didn't say that.
He's a complicated figure. I'm thankful for.
They dressed him up in a
positives he contributed.
space outfit and made him walk onto the set of Guardians 2 to sit there and to be surrounded by watches.
Yeah,
Like-
but that's the best Marvel movie, so it's fine.
He looks so disheveled as
It's
the
worth
UPS
it. It's
guy.
worth it.
in
Oh, wait,
Civil War.
didn't like James Gunn like direct like his last like 6 cameos?
He
or
does the
something?
last-
Yeah.
The last handful of cameos were all like Gunn did them. And that's
Yeah.
why it looks like very clearly looks like he's not in half the movies
Yeah.
he has cameos in.
They did it like in a day, right? Too.
I think so. Yeah.
Right, there you go.
Man. I guess whatever. If he was game, which he might not have been, but
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Oh, I don't know.
Excelsior!
No.
Here's to another 100 episodes of the Waffle Press.
Yeah.
Can't comment any longer.
yeah.
And I hope that's our future. I hope that like 30 years from now, like we've had a big falling out, and then I call you up on your birthday episode, and it goes well, and then it ends with us like in a fist fight or something.
It's like, hey Diego, do you remember when I created that?
Diego, I'm still right about Prometheus, and then just punch.
Oh my God.
No,
So-
history is vindicating me on like half my points. So
Absolutely not.
yeah,
But
no. Thank you for joining us, Matt. Thank you, Gene, for joining me
Yes.
always, and Matt for the retrospective. Like, genuinely, thank you for stopping by and then
Yeah.
letting us,
No, it's great.
letting me shoot the
This-
shit with you so often
it's a good reprieve from some of the other things in the world to just sit down and talk about
Yeah.
what the fuck was Rob Reiner thinking. That's a preview for one of our upcoming episodes.
Yeah, I guess here's an announcement for since we're talking about retrospectives. 4 episodes will be available on the Patreon this Wednesday. July 6th. Is that correct? Yeah, July 6th. Whatever this Wednesday is, it's that one.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for commenting. Also, we don't have hundreds of viewers all the time on the YouTube, or rarely ever, but we get more viewers on the SoundCloud and Spotify, so I'm thankful for that. But seriously, thank you everyone for commenting. Love you, Kale. Love you, Staley. Thank you guys so much. Sebastian, you commented the most about the Tenet thing, so I'm gonna shoot you the little code for that. Message me on Twitter, by the way, so I can do that because I don't know how to use Twitter.
Everyone.
Thank you for doing this for me after all this time. It was incredibly cringe and embarrassing to look back at that first video, but we generally know what we're doing now. If not on here, then at least in life. So it's been a pleasure, my friend. I'll see you all in another 100 episodes. And Matt, I'm talking to you Tuesday, right? When are we doing that?
I think so. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, now I remember. All right.
Yeah,
Look forward to
have
that, people
yeah.
in the future.
Okay.
Um,
All right, I'm gonna end the stream then. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe. Have fun.
happy 4th. God bless.